Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I think ever since the age of 3 years old, I've had a room decorated with Disney characters, and it's been over 30 years, and I still have a room decorated with all these Disney characters, showcasing my passion for Disney, which eventually became a passion for Descendants of Zombies and all of you. I've always wanted to create something special for everybody watching these videos, and I had the chance to do just that and have a dream come true for me of being the host of this incredible show, which ultimately became everybody's favorite. I have no idea how this show became everybody's favorite, but it has, and it's been my honor to host this show and create thousands of videos. I never imagined I would have the honor to go on to create thousands of videos about Clarke, Freya Skye, and Malia Baker, but I did, because you guys obviously saw something special in these conversations we would have every night after sunset, because there was just something about creating videos after sunset that put my mind at ease and allowed me to put together some of the most beautiful videos that I would have the honor of creating, because every night we look at the same sunset, we look at the same stars, and I've always wanted to encourage you guys to follow your passions while I was suffering from an itchy nose. For some reason, every single time that I go to record a video about Descendants of Zombies, I'm suffering from an itchy nose, and I wish that I had contact with some of these Descendant stars to cast a magic spell so I wouldn't be suffering from an itchy nose. Hopefully, I will make it through this video tonight, and hopefully a zombie apocalypse won't occur throughout the progress of this video. Thank you so much for having chosen this YouTube channel as your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel, hosted by a guy who's always been convinced that he lives inside of a haunted house, but that allows me to bring these videos to life. You know, I remember years ago when Disney would have all these Halloween specials, and they would be some of the coolest Halloween specials that you would ever watch. And I remember how Disney used to decorate Main Street with all these Halloween decorations and bring characters such as Jack Skellington back from the dead, and everybody would just fall in love with it. I was always a fan of whatever Disney would promote. Jack Skellington, of course, Sully from Monsters Incorporated were some of my favorite characters that were ever told in the story, and these stars became some of my favorite of all time for this generation, because if there was something that represented this generation that stood out for, you know, all of its enthusiasm, it was Descendants of Zombies. It gave us something more to believe in. It gave us a chance to believe in all of our dreams and pursue all of our goals, and I think ultimately that's what made Descendants of Zombies so special, for its encouragement and its value, its appreciation for friendships and the beautiful stories that we had the chance to both experience and to become a part of. You know, before all of you guys became a very valued part of my life, I was pretty much just a loser who had very few friends. I had probably 3 or 4 really good friends, but I quickly realized throughout the progression of my lifetime that 3 or 4 really good friends was all I ever needed, because they stayed with me and they stayed loyal to what I believed in and they trusted my opinions. And then thousands of people happened for me overnight, because people subscribed to all these videos that I was recording about Descendants of Zombies. So I decided I'd go for it. I'd shoot for the stars and hope for the best, because hoping that somebody was going to subscribe here and believe in everything I had to say about Descendants of Zombies was the only hope that I ever had, and my dream came true. I got to share stories with you about how I was a fan of Cinderella and how I believed in Alice in Wonderland with all of my heart, and everybody just kept on subscribing here and blew this YouTube channel out of the water. And I know that a lot of us are really excited about Descendants 5 and Wicked Wonderland, and I love having these conversations with people. They are conversations I look forward to having every night, and if I was going to say anything at all about Clarke and Freya Skye, it was going to have to be something nice, because many of us who are subscribed here to this YouTube channel, to this really crazy guy, are fans of Freya Skye, and I'm here to tell you guys, there's nothing wrong with being a fan of Freya and showing so much undeniable love and support, because I love Freya just as much, and I see something special in Freya. I've seen something special in Clarke and for forever. I was always the biggest fan of her YouTube channel. It was called Hello Kylie. Just the other day I was to this Hello Kitty store, and the first person I think about every single time that I step inside of that Hello Kitty store is Clarke and because she's had a passion for Hello Kitty. She's always been a fan of Sam and Cat and Victorious, and she loved watching those shows. You know, years ago, over a decade ago, I loved watching Victorious just as much. Now, on Friday nights, that was the only night of the week that a new episode of Victorious would air. And I always made time out of my busy schedule to watch the latest episode of Victorious, because I saw something special in it. I saw something special in the over-enthusiasm of Ariana Grande and the appreciation from Victoria Justice, because it was something special for us to take something special away from and really to be a part of. The music and the characters and the script that really brought that show to life. It went on to become everybody's favorite kids TV show of 2012. I remember when they received that award and they were a part of the Lifetime Achievement Award for Nickelodeon, and I was so honored to have been a part of that. And now 15 and a half years later, we're saying the same thing about this beautiful cast that's been assembled and brought together for franchises such as Descendants of Zombies, which we've really seen value in and appreciation in because it's made us stronger together. It's brought us that much closer together and made us the best of friends. I perceive this YouTube channel as a journal, which has allowed me the opportunity to bring these videos to life and really had the time of my life sharing with you stories about how my friends wanted to become an indie band, or how I thought my next door neighbors were vampires, and how I thought my girlfriend may have been a vampire. I tell you these stories because I was a fan of My Babysitter's a Vampire. I was a fan of Twilight. I was a fan of Dracula. And, I thought there was so much to appreciate from those stories because it really gave us something special to take away something from, and really gave us something to believe in more than ever before. These stories about fairy tale characters deserve to be appreciated and deserve to be put on a pedestal that I believe they should never come down off of. I think that these stars have a chance of going on to become some of the greatest of all time because of some of the greatest stories ever experienced, and I think that a lot of us feel the same way about people like Kylie Cantrell and Freya Sky, who is so appreciative of these moments she gets to share with each and every one of you. The one thing that I've always noticed about Freya Sky was that she was so appreciative of these moments that she had the chance to create and to be a part of with each and every one of you, going back as far as some of the first performances she gave at the Worlds Collide Tour last year. And I think many of us miss those performances because we cried during them, we laughed during them, we felt as if we were part of something special because of them, and because of Freya, and because of you guys. Freya Sky went on to become a superstar. She truly morphed into something special, and now Meg Donnelly has a new EP. Kylie Cantrell has a new album coming out this year. They've got a lot to work on and to look forward to, and that's why they've opted out of this tour, because they have a lot going on. Years ago, it was very difficult to get ahead in the Disney industry. It was very difficult to get ahead with the Disney company because you had a lot to really look forward to. You had EPs and dreams of your own, and Disney wanted you to go in a different direction altogether. So these stars now breaking away from Disney, like Meg Donnelly, breaking away from her obligations with Zombies, now gives her a chance to really broaden her horizons in Broadway musicals, the chances to release even more music and to have even more opportunities. Of course, she's going to be a producer for Zombies 5 as we look ahead to Zombies 5 in 2027. But I've always believed that there are people out there who have never wanted to let go of the original cast and their stars because of their stories. Because undeniably, the story of Zed and Addison was a beautiful one, and it was something special to take something away from. We never ever forgot the contributions of Zed and Addison because of how beautiful this story was. I know, from the perspective of a fan, I never ever forgot their contributions, and I never will. I think that how Addison realized that Zed was just somebody struggling to achieve acceptance in a lifetime was something that made this story so beautiful. She really respected Zed, and she just wanted the opportunity to spend the rest of her life with him, and when she finally had the chance to, it made that story even more special, because I think a lot of us saw ourselves in the story of Zed and Addison, thinking about that one person that we had a chance of possibly spending the rest of our lives with. And I think that there is always somebody out there for somebody who's watching this video. There's always that one person that you have a chance of spending the rest of your lives with, falling deeply in love with. I think a lot of these stories that we saw in Descendants of Zombies, for whatever character we may have been a fan of, were so relatable. And that's what made Descendants of Zombies such a revered franchise and such a revered compilation, is that the stories that we saw within these franchises were so relatable. If you told me that you never took something special away from Descendants of Zombies, I don't know if I'd ever believe you. But if you told me that you did take something special away from Descendants of Zombies, I would believe you in a heartbeat just as fast as you could snap your fingers, because there was that one song that you loved. I see it all the time in these videos you guys upload about how there's always that one song that stands out in a compilation for Descendants of Zombies. It could have been Someday, it could have been Show of the World, it could have been Dream Come True, because that was a beautiful ballad. I saw all these reaction videos for music videos like Place to Be and Dream Come True, and you guys obviously saw something special in it too, because that's what made you a super fan and so dedicated to these franchises, because either in the music or the stories of the characters, you took something special away from it. You had a dream of flying yourself, like you saw Freya Sky and Malachi Burton do in the music video for Dream Come True. You saw a lot of action and a lot of hope for the new characters in music videos such as Place to Be. You went to the Worlds Collide Tour wanting to be a part of something so special, and nobody in that crowd in the way of a critic deserved to take that away from you. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to create something special and truly give something special back to every fan of Descendants of Zombies by creating this channel. Undeniably, no matter what project I may have been involved with, pro wrestling, professional sports, I always had this passion for Disney above everything else. And I put my passion for Disney above everything else because more than anything else in this lifetime, I wanted the chance to relate to thousands of people. Not hundreds, not thousands, but millions of people. I wanted the chance to relate to everybody through the stories I would share with you. Oftentimes these stories were very funny, they were very inspirational, but it allowed you to be a part of something special, to feel as if you were more a part of the Descendants of Zombies franchises than anybody had ever allowed you to be, because pretty much to these content creators who create these videos for Descendants of Zombies, whose content seem to revolve around Descendants of Zombies, it's all about qualifying for the YouTube partnership program or monetization opportunities. That's what this has never revolved around for me. I would love the opportunity to be seen and heard by more people than ever before, but not because I want to qualify for any monetization opportunities or the YPP program. It's all about you. This YouTube channel was created for you because this guy listens to you and he hears you when you tell him a story about why you're a fan of Descendants of Zombies and what inspires you about this franchise more than anything else in this lifetime. I think that if you've taken a chance on Descendants of Zombies and obviously saw something special in the franchise, that is remarkable and that deserves to be respected. That doesn't deserve to be heard from a guy who pretty much doesn't respect Descendants of Zombies, which pretty much the majority, at least 95%, of these content creators don't have a far greater appreciation for Descendants of Zombies. You guys have deserved a dedicated voice and a dedicated YouTuber sit behind his microphone and his camera every night and share with you stories about how he loved characters like Mushu and Olaf and the Beast from Beauty and the Beast, because I saw characters that deserve to be respected and deserve to be given a chance. And we obviously saw something special in these characters inspired by some of the most successful Disney franchises ever witnessed, like Beauty and the Beast, Sleeping Beauty, Milan. There were so many beautiful franchises that were showcased within these franchises, both past and present. Either Sophia Carson, Dove Cameron, Kylie Cantrell, Malia Baker brought these characters to life in a way that it touched your heart, because the reason why I can relate to so many fans of Descendants of Zombies, while these characters wanted to touch your hearts, I wanted to do the same thing. I never imagined that so many wonderful people would have subscribed here, but that's what happened. And it happened for me just as fast as you could snap your fingers. I know I do the snapping your fingers kind of thing, but again, it allows me to bring these videos to life. I could just sit here and state the reasons why I was a fan of Descendants of Zombies without snapping my fingers, but again, it grabs your attention and allows me to have the chance to bring these videos to life. And I tell you all these funny stories at random because the thing is, I just had a dream of wanting to be a creative writer or producer for Descendants of Zombies. Let me tell you this way. If Disney called me tonight and offered me the chance to be the producer behind Descendants of Zombies, I would take that chance in a heartbeat, because I often think about you guys watching these videos on the other side of the video. From wherever you hear my voice or from wherever you watch this video in the world tonight, I often think about you and what you want to get the most out of watching Descendants of Zombies from. I think about your favorite characters and what you want to see happen in a franchise like Zombies, because many of you believe we're going to see mermaids. Some of you think we're going to see witches, sirens, trolls, goblins, fairies. I think that's really cool, and I think there's time to really appreciate that. So with time to appreciate it, there's also times to create it and allow it to happen. I know that they've been teasing mermaids for a while, and obviously that's what's going to happen, because we're shifting our focus now from land to water, because I think the sea is the most beautiful and one of the most unpredictable places in the world. It's also by far one of the most dangerous places in the world. I've been on a lot of boating expeditions in my lifetime, and I've been left in a lot of situations where I've been fearing for my life, but that's what makes the water so unpredictable and so exciting, is the fact that, you know, there's so much mystery that associates itself with it. So one of the mysteries is the stories of mermaids and how these stories have been told. I've read so many novels, so many stories, and I saw the story of The Little Mermaid for the first time back in 1989. And if I told you I didn't take away a greater appreciation from Ariel and her story and how she fell in love with Prince Eric, I would be lying to you, because I did. Because The Little Mermaid was one of my favorite Disney princesses. I love all of them. I can't deny that, but she was one of my favorites. Belle's curiosity, intelligence, and kindness was also one of the biggest reasons why I chose Belle as one of my favorite Disney princesses, and always held a very special place in my heart for her, and Rapunzel for her appreciation for life and how her story was brought to life. I really appreciated these Disney princesses, and I always deserved that there was a lot of heart and dedication that came with bringing their stories to life. So when I heard stories about how Ruby Rose Turner for the first time ever wanted to play Rapunzel in the live-action Tangled, I said, give her a chance. The thing about me was I always supported these characters because I saw something special in their stories and the stories they told us about how they wanted to play these characters and have the chance to bring these characters to life. I remember when Ruby was asked the question, what Disney princess would you love to play other than your own for Descendants? And she immediately jumped at the chance. She just said Rapunzel, and then she flicked her hair back. And I said, why not give her a chance? Why not give Kylie Control the chance she's always wanted to be in a Marvel movie and be in movies like Spider-Man and the Avengers? I think it would be so cool, man, because I remember being a kid at 12 years old, watching Spider-Man for the first time with my Spider-Man popcorn bag and my Spider-Man drink, and thinking it was the coolest thing ever in 1999 when Sony acquired the rights to Marvel characters and Spider-Man to bring Spider-Man to life for the first time on the big screen. I'm going to see Spider-Man or Super Mario Galaxy. Spider-Man Galaxy. That would be so cool. So random if they made Spider-Man Galaxy. Let me try this again. I'm going to see Super Mario Galaxy. Stop laughing. On April 1st. And I remember last week when they rolled out I keep saying Spider-Man. Super Mario Galaxy. Get it right, Jonathan. I remember when last week they rolled out the Super Mario Galaxy poster in the movie theater, and it was so cool. It was so colorful, and it got me so excited to be a part of Super Mario Galaxy next week. The thing is, you only have so many opportunities. The point I'm trying to make is you only have so many opportunities to make the most out of every opportunity you're presented with in life. So if you have a chance to go see Super Mario Galaxy or experience Descendants of Zombies Worlds Collide, you should. I know there are a lot of people who are really excited that tickets go on sale next week. I think this coming Friday, I do believe, the first tickets go on sale. A select number of them go on sale for the venues that are hosting the Worlds Collide Tour beginning on September 25th this fall. Good luck to you guys to get your tickets. I hope you do get them. I know that I will be here just as I was last summer covering the Worlds Collide Tour for you because I'll make a full-time commitment to covering the Worlds Collide Tour for you guys. So that's our promise. You get your tickets, you go see it, you have the time of your life, and I will be here to profile every event that happens throughout the fall. I think they're going right up to just before Christmas. They're going to be doing this tour. It's going to be a 4-month tour, so it's going to be huge. It's going to be even more massive than the original Worlds Collide Tour, with even more places being visited, even some places overseas, because this is a huge expansion. Because that's what's happening for the Descendants of Zombies franchise. You do realize that, right? It's far from being over, and it's seeing so many expansions with so many even more characters with so much life being brought forth for the first time ever in introducing these franchises. So what I want you guys to do is don't believe these critics, don't drink their proverbial Kool-Aid, don't watch their videos, and believe what you want to believe and hold on to for these franchises, because they will forever try to tell you that Descendants of Zombies is seeing its dramatic conclusion. If you want to believe anything, believe that we're seeing more expansions and more characters than ever before, because this story is far from over. It's really just the beginning of something so special. And if there's one thing I want you to believe in more than ever before watching this video tonight, is that this is just an expansion, and it's going to be something far more special than anything we've ever seen in our lives. And I think it's something special for us to take something away from. And I think if we're going to say anything at all, it should be something nice for these stars to believe in themselves and their abilities, because the way I see it is they're the strongest people that I've ever had the chance to talk about with you and for you, because this was content that was specifically created and designed for you guys, and because it was specifically designed and created for you guys, it should be something special for you to believe in your favorite stars more than ever before, because I know that many of you have your own dedicated Descendants of Zombies YouTube channels, and I think that's so cool, man, how you have a special place in your heart for your favorite characters. Some of you are fans of the original trilogies, which is cool too, but with the times, we have to change with the times, so we're moving forward, we're looking ahead, we're not looking back. The thing is, so many of you have held on to the past. While these stars have said goodbye, we've kind of changed with the times, and we're now shifting our focus from the original cast to the new cast, but it also offers us an opportunity to look back and reflect on how much Descendants of Zombies has meant to us, either the original trilogy or this new take on the franchise, which has been done fabulously and so remarkable, because these stars have believed in it with all of their hearts, and they've just wanted to be a part of something special, just as the original cast did. But I think the original cast let go a little too soon, because their story was anything but having been told and completed, and now this new cast just wants to keep on moving forward with it. The thing is now, the focus has shifted from Kylie Cantrell and Freya Sky to the new stars of even Camp Rock. So with Camp Rock 3 coming out this summer, I think adding Camp Rock into the Worlds Collide Tour, if you ask me, is really cool. It gives us something to be even more excited about, because I was always a fan of Demi Lovato, Joe Jonas, and their story as Mitchie and Shane Gray. That was so cool how they just fell in love, and they've been the best of friends for forever. So seeing them come back as camp counselors now in Camp Rock 3, it shifts our focus to something even more spectacular to be a part of. And now with them adding them in to the Descendants of Zombies franchise, I think this offers more of an expansion, which is more widely examined and explored than ever before. So that's going to be cool with even more stars. The thing is, the cast would be so overloaded if you had Kylie Cantrell, Freya Sky, Malia Baker, Joe Jonas, Demi Lovato, Liamani Segura, and the list just keeps going on. There are so many people that have become a part of this franchise, have held a very special place in our hearts because of their offerings to this franchise. So what the focus now has shifted from is stars of the past to stars of the future, and I think it's a phenomenal way of promoting them and giving them a chance to showcase their talents far more than ever before. I'm so excited to be a part of this future, and I'm so excited to be a part of it and sharing it with each and every one of you. Again, guys, if I didn't say it before, thank you so much for having chosen this YouTube channel as your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time. I've got so much more to say, and we will pick up this conversation from where we left it off bright and early tomorrow morning between 8:35 and 9:05 a.m. I know that's really early for many of you, so if you get a chance, come back and watch the archives, because there's always something in the archives of this YouTube channel for every fan of Descendants of Zombies, which is really cool. Thank you so much for allowing me to have been a part of all of your lives and to have represented you as a dedicated voice of Descendants of Zombies. It's been my profound honor, and one that will hold a very special place in my heart. Thank you so much for having chosen this YouTube channel once again as your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel, and most of all, thank you so much for having watched this video.